Okay, so it's the next day after the Game Awards announced, or Jeff Keighley, I should say, announced the nominees for Game of the Year and just the categories as well. And yeah, after a day of just looking through shit, um, Jeff and the jury, what the fuck? I'll go into it at I'll go into it at a little bit, but seriously, what the fuck? All right. So I'm going to be ignoring esports. I personally don't care, nor do I know anything about esports. So I'm going to move on to Content Creator of the Year, if it'll let me. Great, the website doesn't work today either. Wonderful. Stupendous. Okay, so we got Who the Fuck Is This? We got Kai Sanat, Moist Critical, Sakura Miko for some reason, and Who the Fuck Is This? You already know my vote is going towards Miko. Because she's the only one I actually know about and actually like. Because she's the only one that's consistently and constantly doing content, whereas whereas Kai and Moist are more so Twitch streamers than YouTubers, and I feel like this is more so geared towards YouTuber stuff. Next one. This is going to be hell, isn't it? Because the website is going to take forever. Oh well. So, most anticipated game. 007 First Light, I don't know who cares about that. Grand Theft Auto 6, which is going to win, let's be real here. Marvel's Wolverine, which is cool. Resident Evil Requiem, which I personally don't give a shit about. Or The Witcher 4. I care more about The Witcher 4, personally. I for one like that Ciri is the main protagonist, and apparently she has a different Witcher amulet. Apparently it's a Lynx, from what people have been saying. At least I think. Don't take my word for it. I think Ciri as a protag could work, so long as they don't fumble the bag hard and make her a yes queen girl boss bitch. Uh, Romance is fine in the game, but make it good romance and not just it's romance for the sake of being romance. You know. And it's still loading. Great. Okay, so seeing as how the website is having a bit of a hiss fit, and even if I try and click on one of these, it won't work, and it's buffering, like it's taking fucking forever to do, I'm going to wait an additional day, Wednesday, to see if it fixes itself. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to go to the video and look at it that way instead. Because this is fucking bullshit. Alright, it's Wednesday. Let's hope that the website is fucking fixed. Alright, best multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. We got Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. I don't know what Arc Raiders is doing on here because apparently, supposedly, it used AI, slash generative AI, in the making of the game. That's not okay. Do not put games made with AI slash using generative AI on a big platform like this. Fuck AI. If you support AI, go to hell. Anyway, my vote is going to Peak, only because it is the most popular one, I feel. It's the most friendly one, and it's the most fun one for a lot of people. Split Fiction can only be done between two people, while Peak can be done by multiple because there are mods that allow for multiple players. That and proximity chat is a thing. Best sports slash racing. Do not care, but it's going to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds because apparently that game is much better than Mario Kart World, especially for a game called World. So there you have it. Best sim slash strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. Gonna be honest, never heard of these games before, except for maybe 2 Point Museum, so I'm giving it to Final Fantasy. Yes, it's a remake slash remaster, so to speak, but it's like one of the few that is even on here, and I'll get into that when we see other categories. Best family game. Basically, what Nintendo game do you think wins the most? For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. If that's the case, what the fuck is Split Fiction doing here? But anyway, this is usually the Nintendo category, but there's only 2 Nintendo brand IPs on here, which is kind of funny. To me, family game means a game that you can play with your family. You cannot play Donkey Kong Bonanza with your family because it's not a multiplayer game. All of the other games, however, well, at least these four, you can. Granted, I think this one is 2-player only, whereas Lego Party is 4-player, Mario Kart World, I think, could be up to 8-player, so I'm gonna give it to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, again. Best fighting game. I have no stake in this, because I don't do fighting games. Okay. Best RPG. For the best game, designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences, which explains why Monster Hunter Wild is here. Avowed. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monhan Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2. 2 games made by Obsidian that people did not really like. What the fuck is Avowed doing here? No one talked about it, like, the day after it, came out. No one's been playing it the day after it came out. And apparently, a game similar to it, called The Fall of Avalon, or Tears of Avalon, came out during the same year, and it's been praised to hell and back, and is reportedly a much better game. So why isn't that on here, and Avowed is? Not only that, but why are 2 games made by Obsidian on here, when The Outer Worlds 2 isn't reportedly that good of a game? Wanna know what could have been on here? Digimon Storytime Stranger. Trails in the Sky FC Remake. Especially replacing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like, the games I would have replaced would be Avowed, Kingdom Come, and Outer Worlds, because they do not belong here. I'm sorry. No one's been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. No one's been talking about it, unless if you're a Western gamer nut. And, you know, focused on Western games and not actual good games written by people who understand what makes a game good. So, yeah. I am slightly puzzled why Monhan is here, because he can sort of roleplay in it, but not really. But at the very least, Monhan Wild's story was good. Definitely better than the previous Monhan titles, at least the previous 2, that being World and Rise. So, there's that. But if I'm being honest, I don't want to vote for any of these. And I know I'm avoiding the big one here, and that's because I personally think Expedition 33 fails as a good RPG. It does, genuinely, and I would like to write a review on it later down the line, but again, that's going to happen later down the line, so I can give my full thoughts on why this game, in thought and practice, is really cool, but in execution, it fails every single fucking mark, or nearly every single fucking mark. I don't want to vote for any of these, because I feel like none of these deserve Best RPG for this year. Like, hell, you could even say 100 Line, Last Defense Academy is an RPG, and you could have put that on here. Where's that? I mean, hell, Sim Strategy as well, but after a while it just becomes a visual novel. But it's a damn good visual novel. Granted, there's a lot of issues with some of the paths, but even then, the pros outweigh the cons for not Expedition 33, for 100 Line. I'm not going to vote for anything RPG related, because none of these games are good. Except for maybe this one. Best Action Adventure. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Being honest, the only one that I fully know of is Split Fiction. Because Death Stranding 2 is only on here because Jeff has a diehard thing for Kojima, or anything Kojima related. I haven't seen anything Ghost of Yotei related. I haven't seen any kind of puzzles with Silksong or Indiana Jones, so I'm just going to give it to Split Fiction. Next up, Best Action Game. Okay, what's the difference? For the best game in the action genre, focusing primarily on combat. Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, which I forgot released this year, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I think this game just recently came out, so I have no idea about it. I haven't seen many people talking about Doom, granted, at least not in my sphere. Thankfully, Shinobi Art of Vengeance does have a demo, and I am going to be trying that out. I might even upload a video of trying out the demo for the game, because the small little trailer on Steam looked really interesting. But I think I'll probably give it to Hades 2. And I am going to be playing Hades 2, but it's the only game that I actively know about and I actively like. So there's that. Best VR AR. Don't care because I don't use AR. Best mobile game. Okay. Destiny Rising. Who the fuck is playing that? Persona 5, The Phantom X. Huge ups to the dev team for that. But I will say I did drop it. Not because I didn't like the game, but because I wanted to not spend time on that game anymore. But I can recognize that the game is good. Sonic Rumble. Who the fuck is playing that? Uma Mursum, Uma Musume. This game is going to win, and you're crazy for thinking otherwise. Wuthering Waves. What the fuck is that game doing here? You can replace Destiny Rising and Sonic Rumble with two Hoyo games. At the very least, Genshin and Zenless, I feel. Star Rail, while it's good, has gotten way more predatory lately. And Genshin just released Nodcry, and Nodcry reportedly has been really good so far. Especially the Nodcry units. Especially design-wise, because god damn, they finally picked up the slack. Or they picked up the slack from Natlan, because the Nodcry units actually look amazing. But anyway, you're crazy if you think it's going to be anything other than Uma Musume, because this game has been memed to death, has shitloads of fan art in the time that it's been out. But my vote is going towards Persona 5 The Phantom X, because unlike these games, I actually liked this game. And yes, I did drop Wuthering Waves, because this game does not respect my time. Best Debut Indie. Shouldn't there be 5 games on here? Why is it only 4? Huh? Huh. That's weird. Well, we got Blueprints, Expedition 33, Dispelote, and Dispatch. I have never heard of this game before. Dispatch is amazing. Blueprints is whatever. Expedition 33, I personally would not count it as an indie title. So I'm giving it to Dispatch. Because the animations are great, it looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, kind of. I say kind of because they do swear in the game, and there is nudity in the game as well, so it's more for the mature audience, so it's less of a Saturday morning and more of a Saturday night cartoon. It's fucking funny, the characters are amazing, they're well written, the story is good, so yeah. And then we have Best Independent Game. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Absolum, which I think is a roguelike? I don't know, I don't remember. Ball Pit, which is basically like a bullet hell, I think, if memory serves. Blueprints, which is a roguelike puzzle-solving game. Expedition 33, you're fucking joking if you think this is creative in any way, shape, or form, aside from like the areas and whatnot. Hades 2, it just is on the piggyback of Hades 1, but it does improve on some things, apparently. And Silksong, which is basically just Hollow Knight, but DLC. I'm giving it to Hades 2, even then. Best community support. Being honest, I don't know what the community has done for any of these games, so I'm going to move on. To Best Ongoing. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. FF14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. It's gonna be a battle between these two. I can already feel it. But I like Marvel, and I know Marvel Rivals more. I don't play the game personally, but I do like Marvel characters, so. Games for Impact. Gonna be skipping this because I have no idea what any of these games did. Innovation in accessibility. Same thing. I don't know what, like, I really wish, learn about the nominees. I really wish they do say what these games do in terms of their innovation in accessibility. So I have no say in this. I'm gonna be skipping this. Best performance. Okay, here's another big stinker. Awarded to an individual for voice-over acting, motion, and/or performance capture. Ben Starr, the voice of Verso from Expedition 33. Charlie Cox, the voice of Gustav from Expedition 33. Erika Ishii, the main character of Ghost of Yotei. Jennifer English from Expedition 33, the voice of Mayao. Kanatsu Kato, the voice actor from the main character, I think, from Silent Hill F. And Troy Baker from Indiana Jones, who played Indiana himself. Or Indy. Okay. This is another one where I personally feel like Hunterline could have been in. Either giving it to Takumi or to Ato's VAs, because both of them do outstanding fucking work. Mayao didn't need to be here, and I'm sorry, I love your voice, and I think you did an amazing job as Verso, but Ben Starr, what the fuck are you doing here? I personally think you did a much better job as Clive, because with Clive, you were allowed to show your emotion. with Clive, you were allowed to show the good, the bad, the ugly. You were allowed to be angry and sad. You were allowed to be happy and jovial. Whereas with Verso, you were just more so robotic slash dead, which is obviously the point of the character. Um, but Verso is kind of one note in his tone throughout nearly the entire game, aside from whenever he's talking to Minoko and Eskie, and maybe the other party members, where he has that sarcastic tone to him, but that's just it. I personally think he did a much better job as Clive Rossfield from FF16. I can't say shit about Konatsu. I can't say shit about Erica, but Erica as a person shouldn't deserve it, I think. And I haven't seen anything with Troy Baker, but apparently he does a really good Harrison Ford impression, which people liked. But I am going to be giving it to Charlie Cox, the voice of Gustav, because with Gustav, you get a little bit of everything with him, and he actually has good emotions for the character as well. And that he was allowed to show his emotions. And because of that, I'm giving Charlie Cox my vote. I am surprised, but also happy that Lune isn't up here. Only because, while Lune is a popular character, I don't think she should have been nominated purely because of that. I'm looking at you, Asterion. You shouldn't have been nominated just because you were popular with a lot of people because you were a beloved character. You didn't get nominated because of your good voice. Got nominated because you're the popular character. It should have gone to Clive that year. I think Xenoblade 3 also released that year, so Noah should have been nominated. But whatever. Best Audio Design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Battlefield 6, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Silent Hill F. I can't say shit about any of these. This I can, though. Best Score and Music, for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack. It's definitely not going to this, because it uses a bunch of licensed music, and that's always a bad sign in video games. Ghost of Yotei, Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. This is one of the few good things I will say about this game. It's going to Expedition 33, and I don't care. One of the few good things about Expedition 33 is its soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack of that game is phenomenal. It absolutely deserves the praise. So, next up, if it'll let me go into the next category. Best Art Direction. You have 3 games that are Western style, and then 2 games that actually have an art style, for outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, and Expedition 33. I'm giving it to Hades 2. Because a handful of the gods did get a redesign, and boy howdy did they need it. I'm in the minority where I personally didn't like a whole lot of the character designs in Hades 1. Like, there were some that I liked, but a lot of the ones I did not give a shit for. Like, when people were saying, oh my god, everyone's so fucking hot, this is a bisexual's nightmare, I'm just sitting here like, there's only like 2 hot characters in the game. Nyx and Thanatos. Like, everyone else is just either okay or you look fucking ugly. Like, I'm a straight guy, and most of the dudes look better than most of the chicks. Aside from, like, 2 male characters. Namely Hades and, or not Hades, Hermes and Orpheus. But that's besides the point. Next. Best Narrative, for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and Silent Hill F. You are crazy for thinking any of these games deserve this award. You are legitimately crazy. Now, granted, I don't think there has been a game this year that had a really good story, or very good storytelling. Granted, my memory is shit, but still, none of these games fit the bill, in my opinion. I would get clowned on it, yes, but I dare say that 100 Last Defense Academy should have been up here and nominated instead of Death Stranding 2. At least. Because what that game managed to achieve is a miracle. Especially with that kind of budget. I'm not voting for this because none of these deserve this award. Not only that, Oh, Best Game Direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. You are crazy for thinking it goes to Expedition 33. You are crazy for thinking it goes to Death Stranding 2. Same thing with Ghost of Yotei. Hades 2 and Split Fiction I can see. But creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. None of these games fit the bill, I think. And I personally believe. None of these games fit that bill. I'm happy Split Fiction is here, but I don't think it's innovative or, well, creative, yes. Innovative, no. Same thing with Expedition 33, because there have been games that have had QTEs for attacks. Not only that, but there's QTEs for being attacked, which defeats the purpose of a turn-based RPG. Especially when you have to dodge and you have to parry. Otherwise, you get two-shot. That's not okay. Oh, but you can build defense. Okay, but I'm sacrificing attack, and I'm sacrificing literally all of my strength just to make the fight last longer, when I can make the fight last shorter. Whatever. I'm giving it to Hades 2, I think. And finally, Game of the Year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields, and it's none of these games. None of these games deliver on the creative or technical aspect, aside from maybe Expedition 33 and Kingdom Come Deliverance, for how small their team was and their budget. But that alone does not make a good game a good game. So we have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, which doesn't belong here, DK Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You're crazy to think if this game should win. You're crazy to think if this game should win. This game I can see winning. This game I can sadly see winning. Because most people prefer gameplay over story. But, if we are being honest, it is going to go to Expedition 33. And if it doesn't, and it goes to Death Stranding 2, then this is another rigged year. Just like when The Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year. That was a rigged year. But Expedition 33 is the likely candidate to win over any of these other 6 games. Or these 5 games. Trying to smash a bug on my screen. So, yeah. This is probably the worst nominations for Game of the Year yet. Mostly because there are no good games on here. Or, well, most good games that could have been on here are not. Because Jeff Keighley and the jury do not know what makes a good game a good game. And they've listened, apparently. Because a lot of people were bitching and moaning that remakes shouldn't be up here. And, there was only one game that was a remake that was on this list. It was for one category, and one category only. So, the team took it to heart. Where's Trails in the Sky? First chapter remake. Even though it is a port, where's Xenoblade Chronicles X? And apparently the Dragon Quest remake was really good. And people wanted to see that as well. Where's that game? But we all have to remember that Jeff Keighley and his judges are Western-style gamers. Unless if the game has a Western art style or made by not Japanese devs, they generally don't give a shit. Unless if the game broke the mold and came into the mainstream. And no, fair viewer or viewers, Expedition 33 is not a JRPG. It was made by the French, not by Japanese. It was made by a French studio, not by a Japanese studio. That's the difference between a JRPG and an RPG. Not the fact that it's turn-based, not the fact of its style, and not the fact of how it tells its story. Alright? Alright. So, yeah. I will not be voting for Game of the Year for this one. Granted, I could place my vote for Hades 2, but I would like to actually play the game first, instead of going off of word of mouth for this one, because Game of the Year is a big deal. Because to me, Game of the Year means this is the best of the best. This is what the best the year had to offer, and everyone is going to be looking at this going, okay, what did this game do right, and how can we copy it but put our own twist on it? What can we do but better? So yeah, I think with that, I'm going to end this video here. What would you be voting for? Uh, did you vote for everything? Or did you be selective like myself because you didn't feel right in voting for some things because you have no stake in things? Or you just didn't know enough? Let me know. But anyway, I've been Rikishi, and until next time, I'll see you later.